Your person exists. They're real. They're out there right now, living their life, and they have no idea yet that everything they're going through is leading them to you. And the way you're going to meet them? It's not random. It's written in your birth chart. I know why you clicked on this video. You've heard the vague promises before. Your soulmate is coming. Just be patient. Stop looking, and it'll happen. And none of that has given you what you actually need, which is something concrete, something real. Not just, yes, love is coming, but where, how, what to actually look for. That's what I'm going to give you today. But first, I need to say something, because I know something about you that you probably haven't told anyone. Late at night, when it's quiet, there's a question that creeps in. A question that sounds something like, what if there isn't anyone for me? What if I've been waiting for something that isn't coming? I need you to hear me. That voice is wrong. The fact that you found this video right now, at this exact moment in your life, is not an accident. You didn't stumble onto this by chance. Something in you, call it your intuition, call it your higher self, call it your soul. Something in you already knows that your meeting is approaching. That's why you're here. That's why this title stopped your scroll. You're not here to hear another vague promise. You're here because you're ready to understand the map. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you. Your birth chart contains specific information about the circumstances of how you'll meet your spouse, not a vague someday maybe person. Your spouse, the one you'll marry, the one you'll build a life with, the setting, the situation, the energy of that moment. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, so that when it happens, you'll recognize it. But before we look at your chart, I need to speak to something first, something you might be carrying that we need to put down before we go any further. I know what the waiting has felt like. I know about the engagement announcements that pop up on your phone, the ones where you're genuinely happy for them and then you get in your car, or you close your bedroom door, and something in your chest sinks. That specific heaviness behind your eyes. The tightness in your throat when you're trying not to cry. The way your whole body feels suddenly tired, like the happy face you just performed used up everything you had. I know about the conversations with family, the anyone special questions at every gathering. The well-meaning advice from people who found their person at 22 and don't understand why it's different for you. I know about the apps, the downloading, the deleting, the downloading again, the dates that go nowhere, the one that almost worked and then didn't. The exhaustion of putting yourself out there over and over, only to end up back here, alone, wondering. Maybe it hits you on Sunday nights, when the weekend is ending, and another week of the same is starting. Maybe it's in the shower, when you finally have a moment alone and everything you've been holding floods in. Maybe it's the first warm day of spring, when everyone seems to be walking in pairs, and you're still here. I know you've done the math, the calculation you do in your head when you can't sleep if I meet someone this year and we date for 2 years and then get engaged. Then by the time we're married, by the time we have kids. You hate that you do this. You do it anyway. And somewhere on your phone, maybe in a notes app or a hidden Pinterest board, you've written about him, what you hope he'll be like, what you want to feel. You haven't shown anyone. And I know about the question you ask yourself at 2 in the morning that you've never said out loud to anyone. Is something wrong with me? I need you to hear this. There is nothing wrong with you. You're not too much. You're not too little, you're not broken, you're not unlovable, you're not being punished, you haven't missed your chance. The waiting isn't rejection from the universe. It isn't proof that you don't deserve this. Here's what I know about you. You've been looking, you've been trying, you've been showing up to platform after platform, hoping this one is the right one. Let me give you a way to think about this that changes everything. Imagine a train station. A big one, dozens of platforms, trains arriving and departing constantly. Now imagine that somewhere in this station, on one specific platform, your person's train is scheduled to arrive. Here's the thing. You didn't know which platform. No one told you. So what have you been doing? You've been running. Platform to platform, checking every arrival board, standing in one place for a while, then panicking and moving to another, exhausting yourself, starting to wonder if maybe there's no train coming for you at all. But there is a train. There has always been a train. You just didn't know where to stand. Your birth chart is your platform number. It doesn't just tell you that love is coming, it tells you where to wait, what kind of circumstances, what setting, what type of moment will bring you face to face with the person you're going to marry. And once you know your platform, everything changes. You can stop running. You can stand still. You can wait with peace instead of panic, because you know exactly where you need to be when that train arrives. So let me show you how to find your platform. The part of your chart that holds this information is called the seventh house. The seventh house is the house of marriage, partnership, and commitment. It's where your spouse lives in your chart. The sign on the cusp of your seventh house, the doorway to that house, is called your descendant. And your descendant describes two things: the energy of your future spouse and the circumstances of how you'll meet them. Here's how to find yours. Your descendant is directly opposite your rising sign. Let me give you the pairs. Aries rising means Libra descendant, Taurus rising means Scorpio descendant, Gemini rising means Sagittarius descendant, Cancer rising means Capricorn descendant, Leo rising means Aquarius descendant, Virgo rising means Pisces descendant. And then the reverse. Libra rising means Aries descendant, Scorpio rising means Taurus descendant, Sagittarius rising means Gemini descendant, Capricorn rising means Cancer descendant, Aquarius rising means Leo descendant, Pisces rising means Virgo descendant. If you don't know your rising sign, you need your exact birth time. Pause this video and look it up if you need to. This is worth knowing. Now, here's where it gets specific. Everyone's platform is different. Some people's platform is in the quiet corner of the station. Some people's platform is the international terminal. Some people's platform is right in the center of the action. Your descendant tells you which section of the station to be in, and it tells you something about who you'll find there. Let me walk you through each one. If your descendant is in Aries, you're going to meet your spouse in circumstances that involve action, boldness, or spontaneity. This isn't a slow burn meeting. Someone makes a move. There's a spark of competition or a burst of courage. Think the gym, and not a polite introduction, but that moment when you're both reaching for the same weight, or they ask to work in with you, and there's this spark of friendly competition. A sports event where you're both cheering for the same team or opposite teams, and the banter turns into something else. A hiking trail where one of you is lost or needs help. An emergency situation where someone steps up and takes charge. The person you'll marry has fire in them. They're direct, courageous, maybe a little impatient. And the meeting will match that energy. One of you will make a move, bold, unmistakable, nothing passive about it. If your descendant is in Taurus, you'll meet your spouse through circumstances that involve beauty, nature, sensory experience, or stability. This meeting isn't rushed. It unfolds slowly. There's something tangible about it. Think, an art gallery where you're both standing in front of the same painting. A beautiful restaurant where something about the atmosphere opens a door. A place where you're appreciating something together, music, food, nature, wine. Through financial or banking environments. Through real estate, maybe they're your agent, maybe you're buying in the same building. Through something involving physical comfort or luxury. The person you'll marry is grounded, sensual, patient. They value security and beauty and the pleasures of being alive. And when you meet them, it will feel stable, solid, like you're not chasing anything. If your descendant is in Gemini, communication is the key. You'll meet your spouse through words, ideas, or local connections. The meeting starts with conversation, and it's the kind of conversation that makes you think, I could talk to this person forever. Think. A class or workshop where you're learning something together. A bookstore where you reach for the same title. A library. Through writing or messaging, this could absolutely be online. Through an app, through social media DMs, through your neighborhood or local community, through siblings or neighbors or the everyday errands of your life. The person you'll marry is curious, quick-minded, probably funny. They keep you mentally engaged, and the connection is mental first. You'll meet them when your mind is lit up and ready to receive. If your descendant is in Cancer, family and emotional vulnerability are involved. You'll meet your spouse in circumstances that feel intimate, nurturing, or connected to home. Think, a family gathering where someone introduces you, your mother at a holiday dinner, your aunt who knows someone she thinks you'd like. Through your parents or relatives, someone in your family knows them. Through real estate or home-related situations, maybe they're your agent, maybe your neighbors. Through caring professions, healthcare, teaching, social work, or simply this, you meet in a moment of emotional openness. Maybe one of you is crying, going through something hard, and instead of looking away, the other stays. The person you'll marry is nurturing, protective, emotionally deep. They care about family, about home, about creating safety. And when you meet them, it will feel like coming home. Are you starting to see how specific this gets? Your chart isn't vague, it's detailed. Keep listening, there's more. If your descendant is in Leo, you'll meet your spouse when you're being seen, when you're shining, when you're fully in your creative expression, or simply being unapologetically yourself. Think, a party where you're laughing, relaxed, in your element. A creative event, an art show, a performance, something expressive. Through entertainment or artistic circles. Through children or childcare situations, maybe at a school event, maybe through kids in your life. The key here is this. You will not meet your person by dimming your light. You will not meet them by being small or quiet or trying to take up less space. You'll meet them when you're lit up, when you're visible, when you're radiating who you really are. They'll see you and they won't be able to look away. The person you'll marry is warm, generous, probably a little dramatic in the best way. They make you feel special, and they found you because you let yourself be seen. If your descendant is in Virgo, your meeting happens in the ordinary, the everyday, through work, health, or being of service. Think, the workplace. This is one of the strongest placements for meeting a spouse through your job, a co-worker, a client, someone in your professional world. Health settings, the gym, a doctor's office, a wellness space, a yoga class. Through being helpful to each other, they help you with something, you help them. Through pets at the dog park, at the vet, through animal rescue, through daily routines that overlap. The person you'll marry is practical, detail-oriented, helpful. They show love through acts of service, through showing up, through doing the small things that matter. And here's what's beautiful about this. It won't feel dramatic at first. It will feel practical, real, almost mundane. And then one day you'll realize this person has been right here all along. And that's the moment everything shifts. If your descendant is in Libra, you're going to be introduced. Someone will bring you together. The meeting happens through social connection, harmony, and beauty. Think, a party or social gathering where a friend says, you have to meet someone. A wedding or engagement celebration. Other people's love, creating the space for yours. Through mutual friends, this is one of the strongest indicators that someone you already know will introduce you to your spouse. Through artistic or beautiful environments, through legal or partnership-related settings. The person you'll marry is graceful, charming. They value harmony and fairness and beauty. They're probably well-liked by everyone. And the meeting will feel harmonious, balanced, almost arranged by invisible hands. Like you were supposed to be at that exact place at that exact time. If your descendant is in Scorpio, the meeting is intense. There's depth immediately. Transformation is involved. Think, meeting through crisis, through something that strips away the surface and leaves only what's real. A support group, therapy, recovery, shared loss, or shared fear. Through secrets, something one of you tells the other that you've never told anyone else. Through investigation, research, psychology, finance, or even death-related industries. There may be darkness around the meeting, not evil, but shadow, real, intense. The kind of circumstance that forces you to show who you really are. The person you'll marry is deep, intense. They don't do surface-level anything. They will see parts of you that no one else has ever seen. And when you do show yourself truly, completely, they won't run. They'll stay. You will feel like you've always known them. And nothing about it will feel casual. If your descendant is in Sagittarius, you'll meet your spouse through expansion, travel, education, philosophy, or adventure. Think, while traveling in another city, another country, on a plane, at a hostel, on an adventure, at a university, or in higher education. They might be from a foreign country, or you meet them in one. Through teaching or learning, maybe they're your teacher, maybe you're theirs, maybe you're in a class together. Through philosophical, spiritual, or religious settings, through anything that expands your world beyond what you already know. The person you'll marry is adventurous, optimistic. They believe in something bigger. They make life feel like an adventure. You'll meet them while you're growing, while you're reaching beyond your current world. They might literally come from far away, or their mind and philosophy might be what feels foreign and exciting. If your descendant is in Capricorn, your meeting happens through career, ambition, and structure. This has gravity. Think, a professional setting, the most classic circumstance for this placement, through career networking, at a business event, a conference, an industry function. Through someone in a position of authority, a boss, a mentor, someone established. Through institutions that have weight and structure, through the pursuit of long-term goals. The person you'll marry is ambitious, serious about life. They're building something. They have goals and plans and follow through. You'll meet them where you're building something too. The meeting might feel serious, even formal, at first, but it will feel right, solid, built to last. If your descendant is in Aquarius, expect the unexpected. Your meeting breaks the rules. It doesn't follow the script you imagined. Think, through friend groups or communities, through a cause or humanitarian work, something you both believe in. Online, this is one of the strongest placements for meeting your spouse through the internet, through an app, through social media, through some digital connection that shouldn't have worked but did, through unconventional or random circumstances, a lightning bolt encounter you never saw coming. The person you'll marry is unique, independent. They don't fit in a box. They might be a little weird in the best way. And the meeting will surprise you. It will happen in a way you never predicted, possibly the most random circumstance imaginable. And when you tell the story later, people will say, "That's insane. That's impossible." And you'll say, "I know." If your descendant is in Pisces, the meeting is mystical. There's something otherworldly about it. Fate drips from every detail. Think. Spiritual settings, a retreat, a meditation class, a church, a sacred space, through music, art, or creative expression. Through healing environments, therapy, bodywork, energy healing, near water, the ocean, a lake, a river, a pool. Through compassionate service, volunteering, helping, giving. In dreamlike or impossible circumstances, the kind of meeting that shouldn't have happened, that defied probability, that felt written by something larger than either of you. The person you'll marry is sensitive, intuitive, creative. They feel things deeply. They might be artistic or spiritual or both. You might dream of them before you meet them. When you meet them, it will feel like recognition not of their face, but of their soul. Like you're remembering something you forgot you knew. Did you find your descendant? Did it resonate? Hold on to that, because now I want to add another layer that will make this even more specific. Your descendant shows the setting, but Venus in your chart shows the feeling. Venus is the planet of love, attraction, and what you value in partnership. The sign and house of your Venus adds texture to the circumstances of your meeting. If you have a fire Venus, that's Venus in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, your meeting will feel exciting. Immediate. There will be a spark you can't ignore. The attraction is bold and unmistakable. You'll probably know right away. If you have an Earth, Venus in Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, your meeting will feel stable, real, grounded. You might not recognize it as the one immediately because it doesn't feel like fireworks. It feels like something solid forming under your feet, like coming home. If you have an Air, Venus in Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, your meeting will feel mentally stimulating. The conversation hooks you. The connection is through ideas, words, and understanding. You'll fall for their mind first. If you have a Water, Venus in Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, your meeting will feel emotional, deep, soul level. You might feel like crying when you meet them, not from sadness, but from recognition, from the relief of finally being seen. And the house Venus is in adds even more detail. If your Venus is in the first house, you'll meet them when you're being fully yourself, possibly when you're not even trying to attract anyone. Venus in the third house means communication is everything you'll meet, through texting, through a class, through a neighborhood connection. Venus in the fifth house means romance, creativity, and joy are involved. Parties, dates, playful circumstances. Venus in the seventh house is a powerful placement for marriage itself. Partnership is your destiny, and you'll meet them through relationship-focused circumstances. Venus in the ninth house says travel or education is significant. You could meet them abroad, in a college setting, or through a shared philosophical or spiritual pursuit. Venus in the 10th house brings career into the picture. Your meeting might involve professional circumstances or public settings. Venus in the 11th house means friends are involved. Someone you know will bring you together, or you'll meet through a group, a community, a shared cause. You're allowed to trust this. You're allowed to believe that your meeting is written. You're allowed to stop trying so hard and start receiving. Your chart isn't giving you a limitation. It's giving you a direction. And when you understand where to look, you stop exhausting yourself running to platforms that were never yours. Now, I want to tell you something important. Something about the timing of all this. If you felt a shift recently in how you think about love, in how you feel about yourself, in what you know you want, pay attention to that. Those shifts are signs. Increased dreams about partnership, sudden clarity about what you actually want after years of not being sure. Old patterns finally releasing relationships that weren't serving you, ending, even if you didn't choose it. The feeling that something is about to change, even though you can't see what yet. These are signs your meeting is approaching. Sometimes before we meet someone important, we go through a clearing, a making space. It might feel like loss, but it's actually preparation. The wrong things have to fall away so the right thing has room to arrive. And I need you to hear this. The fact that you found this video right now in this moment of your life is not coincidence. Something in you knows. Your soul is preparing you to recognize them when they arrive. I want you to think about all the places you've been standing, all the platforms you've tried. The dating apps, that was a platform. The setups from friends, another platform. That relationship that almost worked but didn't. You were standing there for a while, waiting, hoping that was the right one. None of those were wrong choices. You weren't foolish for standing there. You were just on the wrong platform for your train. And here's what's beautiful about that. Every wrong platform taught you something. Every train that wasn't yours showed you more clearly what you're actually looking for. You weren't failing. You were learning your way to the right platform. I need you to stop for a moment. I need you to really hear what I'm about to say, because this is the part that matters most. This is the thing I need you to carry with you when this video ends. You were never at the wrong station. You were never lost. You were never broken, or too much, or not enough. You were just running, platform to platform, trying to find your person, not knowing where to stand. And all that running was not wasted. Every wrong platform taught you something. Every train that wasn't yours showed you more clearly what you're actually looking for. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every almost but not quite all of it was teaching you, shaping you, preparing you to recognize your person when they finally arrive. You weren't failing. You were learning your way to the right platform. And now you know where it is. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to stop running. I want you to walk calmly to your platform, the one your chart describes, and I want you to stand there, not frantically checking the arrival board, not looking over your shoulder at other platforms, not second-guessing yourself, just standing, present, open, trusting. Because your train is coming. It has always been coming. And when it arrives, you're going to be exactly where you need to be. Not because you chased it down, not because you forced it, but because you finally understood where you were meant to wait. The waiting isn't punishment, it's preparation. You're being shaped, they're being shaped, and the circumstances, the exact circumstances your chart describes, are being arranged right now. Every relationship that didn't work out made space for this one. Every moment of loneliness was teaching you what you truly want. Nothing was wasted. You're allowed to be excited now. You're allowed to expect this. You're allowed to trust that your person is on their way. Your job now isn't to force anything. It's to stay open. To show up to the circumstances your chart describes. To be fully yourself so they can recognize you too. Because they're looking for you. They don't know your name yet. They don't know your face. But something in them is searching the same way something in you has been searching. And one day, in the exact circumstance your chart describes, you'll both show up to the same platform. And everything you've been through will finally make sense. If this video gave you hope today, if you feel like you understand your path a little better, hold on to that feeling. Screenshot the part that spoke to you. Come back to it when you need to remember. Your spouse exists. Not a vague someday maybe person, your actual spouse. The one you'll marry. The one you'll build a life with. Your meeting is written. The circumstances are specific to you. And now you know what they are. And you're not late. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're exactly on time. Your platform is written in your chart. You know it now. So go stand there, not with anxiety, not with desperation, with the quiet certainty of someone who knows their train is on its way. Because it is, and so are you.